Alright guys, today we're going to talk about the memory box. Gacha system in Ragnarok Mobile, Eternal Love. Because I've been seeing a lot of players asking the same questions. How many BCC do we actually need? And also, is there a good strategy to open these boxes? So today, I want to break this down logically and share the strategy that I personally use. First, let's look at what the box description actually says. The system states that every time you open a box, the success rate increases, and the probability will eventually reach 100% on box number 25. But here's the interesting part. The game doesn't tell us how much the probability increases each time. Some players assume maybe it increases something like 4% every box. But honestly, that's probably not how the system works. Most modern gacha systems use what we call a soft pity curve. That means the probability does not increase evenly. Usually, the pattern looks something like this. In the early boxes, the probability is still very low. In the middle boxes, the increase becomes more noticeable, and then in the last few boxes, the probability ramps up very aggressively until the final box becomes guaranteed. So realistically speaking, the first few boxes probably have a very small chance of giving the item. Then somewhere around the mid-range, maybe box 12 or 13, the probability starts becoming meaningful. And once you reach something like box 15 and above, the system is likely pushing the drop rate much harder until you eventually hit the guaranteed drop. Now let's talk about the cost. Each memory box costs 18 BCC. And since the pity system guarantees the item at box number 25, the worst case scenario is easy to calculate. 25 boxes multiplied by 18 BCC. That equals 450 BCC for one guaranteed item. So no matter how unlucky you are, you should never spend more than 450 BCC for one success. That's your absolute ceiling. Now if we estimate a realistic average, most pity systems usually drop somewhere around box 12 to box 18. So if we convert that into BCC cost, most players will probably spend somewhere around 216 to 324 BCC per item on average. Of course, RNG is still RNG. Sometimes you'll get lucky very early, and sometimes the system might drag you all the way near the pity. Now let's say you're planning something bigger. For example, maybe you want to get 10 successful items from this memory box. If you want complete safety with no risk of stopping halfway, the maximum amount you should prepare is 4,500 BCC, because that assumes the worst case scenario of 25 boxes for every success. But realistically speaking, most players will probably end up spending somewhere around 2,400 to 3,200 BCC for 10 items if luck is average. Now the second question everyone asks is, what is the best strategy to open the boxes? The important thing to understand first is that we cannot manipulate the RNG. However, we can still control how efficiently we spend our BCC. The safest and most efficient rule is this: always stop immediately when the item drops. Because the moment you get the item, the pity system resets back to box number 1. So if you keep opening boxes after the drop, you're basically spending BCC inside a brand new probability cycle. Now personally, the strategy I use is a combination of speed in the early stage and precision in the later stage. At the beginning, the probability is probably still very low. So instead of opening one box at a time for the first few boxes, I usually open around 10 to 12 boxes immediately. Think of it as fast forwarding through the low probability stage. Because realistically, the chance of getting the item within the first few boxes is usually quite small. So I just burn through those early boxes quickly. Then once I reach around box 10 or box 12, I start slowing down. From that point onward, I switch to opening one box at a time. Because this is usually where the probability curve starts becoming meaningful. The chance is already increasing, and you don't want to accidentally overshoot the drop and waste extra BCC. If the item suddenly appears on box 13, 14, or 15, you can stop immediately and save the remaining boxes. So the strategy basically looks like this. First phase, open 10 to 12 boxes quickly. Second phase, start opening one by one, and the moment the item drops, stop immediately. Now there is also one more important mindset when doing this kind of gacha. Before you even start opening the boxes, you should set your target first. Decide how many items you actually want. Maybe you want 1 item, maybe 5, maybe 10. Whatever the number is, prepare the BCC for that target first. Because once the item drops, the pity system resets and the probability cycle starts again from the beginning. So the process becomes very simple. Set your target, prepare the BCC budget, run the opening strategy until the item appears, stop immediately, then start the next cycle again, and repeat the same process until you reach your target number of items. This mindset is important because it prevents something that happens. To many players in gacha systems, IQ opening boxes without a clear stopping point. When you don't set a target, it's very easy to keep clicking, keep spending BCC, and suddenly realize you've spent way more than you planned. But when you define the target first, every success becomes one completed objective, and you always know exactly when to stop. So if you're planning to pull from boxes, my advice is simple. Set your target first, prepare enough BCC for the full pity if necessary. Open the early boxes quickly, slow down in the mid-range, stop immediately when the item drops, then repeat the cycle until you reach your goal. As always, good luck with your pulls, hope the RNG gods are on your side. As you know, buying BCC or premium monthly directly from the in-game store can be quite expensive. I personally had the same problem for a long time. Because of that, I started looking for a trusted seller that could offer better prices but still be safe and reliable. Thankfully, I found Jivo Gaming Store, and I've been using their service for quite a while now to supply my BCC. What I really like about Jivo Gaming Store is the fast response and very personal service. In this era where many stores are fully automated with AI systems or web checkout, Jivo still handles the service personally with his team, which is actually quite rare nowadays. It feels more trustworthy and the process is very smooth. The prices are affordable, the service is fast, and the response is always quick. So if you're looking for a reliable place to top up your BCC or premium monthly, you can contact Jivo Gaming Store directly at +62 817 1717 9828. Jivo Gaming Store, fast, trusted, and always ready to support your gaming journey.